Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Trials of Mana on Series JG. We're getting fairly close to the point where I'll be allowed to grind off screen for those question scenes, and that is in fact my plan. Seeing as I feel like crap and recording these videos have been kind of distracting my mind from it, but energy's kind of dropping off. But it's an exciting point in the plot, so I hope you guys are into it. As Gourmand has appeared. He's kind of has to carry the heavy lifting for the evil of the masked mage faction solo. If you actually fight through with Charlotte or Kevin as your main, as we'll be seeing in the next playthrough, which I still intend at this point to do. Not 100% committed to it, but that's still a plan. We will see an evil version of Heath, known as the Tainted Mage. Not a big shock, not a spoiler, because Gourmand has clearly pointed out the fact that he's corrupted by evil magic. So we will have to face him in a dramatic scene. But it's much later. Gourmand kind of is the one who pops up and does nasty things and laughs maniacally throughout most of the story for that faction. We had Vampire Guy and Isabella kind of split that duty for one faction. Both of them had opportunities to pop up and be nasty. And speaking of, it looks like there's Isabella right there. And the Darkshine Knight, not doing a whole lot of talking, but he is showing up and being evil. And the Crimson Wizard as well. But Masked Mage's faction, really specifically, this is Gourmand doing it all for you. But let's see what's going on with Isabella. Did she steal the fairy? No, she did not.
It is over. All of it. Now his Dark Majesty can never be revived.
That doesn't seem that sad from where we're standing.
His Dark Majesty sacrificed his life by using a forbidden spell to bring the Darkstone from Mavolia to this realm in order to gain access to the sanctuary.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
Using the Sword of Mana, we would then revive him. Together we would turn this world into our new homeland of Mavolia.
Okay, so just because I read about it in the wiki, I don't think it's properly explained in game. Malvolia is the realm of demons in the Manaverse. Like the final boss from Secret of Mana, Thanatos the Lich, is a wizard who had somehow gotten in touch with them and had basically become a demon in the hopes of achieving immortality. Something that doesn't really come clear in Secret of Mana until you read the Wikipedia and I guess supplemental material available in Japan, mangas or whatever. But yeah, so they're literally coming from like a demon realm. But they're falling into that old sci-fi trope I never understood. Why do we always have these alien villains? It was basically the plot of like several of the DC comic movies that everybody hated. They come to Earth and activate some kind of evil machine that's going to change Earth to be just like their crazy evil bad homeworld. And like, you already have evil bad homeworld. Why do you want to come to Earth? But anyway, apparently they were going to remake the world of Mana into the image of the world that demons already come from. And maybe they want to do that just because they're demons and they're kind of mean. But that is apparently not going to be a thing now.
But a new enemy came and destroyed.
I feel
my master's corpse.
oddly sympathetic for her, considering how nasty she is.
Now, his soul is trapped forever in darkness, lost to us, just like the Mana Sword.
So you could be going for revenge.
We were utterly defeated. Malokio thought we might still be able to obtain the sword ourselves in order to bring Mavolia to this realm. But a world without his Dark Majesty. I could not bear the thought.
Wait a second.
That cowardly fool. Malokio's pettiness was an insult to his Dark Majesty's memory. So I destroyed him with my own hands.
A little emotional here, lady.
Don't worry. I intend to follow soon. His Dark Majesty was the reason for my existence. This is farewell.
And just like, you really shouldn't get that stuck on one dude. I mean, I like boys and all, but come on. So yeah, literally, Malvolio there actually seemed to have the right plan. It's like, well, our original plan is fucked, pardon my French, but we should still try to steal the mana sword back. He might have softened the blow to Isabella a bit by saying something about avenging the Dark Majesty, but mostly he's like, well, I was loyal to the Dark Majesty, but he's dead now. We can try to do something similar to what we were going to do before. Let's not give up. Let's come up with a devious, sneaky plan. But she just, like, head case, like, how dare you not kill yourself immediately upon losing the great Dark Majesty that I totally wanted to get in the sack with. Murders him, now she kills herself. Seems kind of... She went to a lot of nasty trouble on behalf of the Dark Majesty, but it didn't appear that she really had a whole lot of agency without his plan backing her up. Feel bad for a feat vampire guy. He didn't get to talk at the end there. He really doesn't get a whole lot of dialogue if you're not playing as Rize or Hawk. He didn't really get that much when he plays Hawk either. Here we go. Well... Sorry, I'm working through a little... Oh, acid reflux. There's only 3 real possibilities here, and we've eliminated 2, so... Not Charlotte's foe. Hashtag not my foe. But for Angela and Duran, it makes sense. We'll wait for nighttime here. It was always going to come down to... The Dark Knight, Darkshine Knight's got some personal meaning for Duran. But the Crimson Wizard, that's the a-hole that I think we all wanted it to be him so that we could take his ass out ourselves.
Stop right there, Crimson Wizard! Give Fairy back!
If you wish to retrieve your fairy, you will bring the Sword of Mana to Castle Altena. The true queen awaits you, Your Highness.
What? Wait!
Well?
My mother won't get away with this.
We kind of wanted to take the Sword of Mana and shove it up the queen's ass, not literally. So he's kind of set us up to do what we were going to do anyway. Only now we're really not in control of the situation.
Everyone was probably waiting for you to get the sword for them. That's why they took Fairy hostage.
What do we do now? This is a trap.
It's a whole load of quap.
I know. I know that. But I have to stop my mother. I have no idea why she wants this sword so badly.
But it ain't for anything good.
No matter what her reasons, I cannot let her do this. Let's find her and get Fairy back. I can use magic now, and we even got the sword before anyone else.
And you guys are okay, I guess, at your jobs.
If I can explain the situation, my mother will listen to me now. The true queen is no coward. Let's go back to my homeland. To Altena.
I'm a bit puzzled now. There must have been some dialogue that Angela had as our protagonist that didn't even register on me that it was something somebody else would have to have said if she hadn't said it. But we never really came across a scene... Well, Duran too, actually. Let's not forget Duran. Duran might have popped up when we were rescuing the Hero King, whether or not he was in our party, potentially. We haven't had a moment like that for Angela. And we wouldn't be going to Altena now to face the true queen if we weren't playing as Angela or Duran. So I guess if you're playing as Duran and Angela's not in your party, maybe you encounter her in Altena. But I haven't come across anything that struck me as, oh, this is where Angela pops up and does a cameo if she's not in your party. So I'd be curious. One of the things I'm looking forward to about playing through as Wolfman Kevin's story is just seeing the little differences. And I'll be paying attention for if Angela ever pops up outside of the opening sequence in Jad where all these characters pop up. Except for Charlotte, who pops up in the cave. Oof. Oh, what the hell? This gold seed might be it. This might do it. Candy? From a gold seed? At a level 4... Okay, that is certainly the worst possible outcome. I don't know if it's impossible at level 5, but at level 4 it should be incredibly improbable. So that might be the game's way of saying, dummy, wait for it to be level 5 before you use the gold seeds. And it didn't level us up all the way anyway. Well, let's save the game so we don't have to replay through any of those sequences. I have a love-hate feeling about that whole sequence. I think from a gameplay perspective, trying to give you reason to replay through the game with different villains was smart. This feels simultaneously like a clever and efficient, but also kind of lazy way to write out, in one fell swoop, the two villain factions that aren't the main villain faction, because whichever villain faction is the one you're facing kidnaps Fairy and kills the other two factions. And you just get little speeches from the defeated factions before you face your faction. The fact that there's nothing different about what the demons from hell would do, as opposed to the masked mage. The masked mage is pretty mysterious. We don't really know what he's going on. And Gormond also appears to be a demon, so I guess maybe the idea that Gormond's approach to screwing over the other factions would not be at least a little different from how Isabella and Vampire Man would do it, as opposed to the Crimson Wizard and the Darkshine Knight, who we don't know who they're working for yet. I might have mentioned it in passing. I'll try to avoid mentioning it again. But yeah, you would think that there'd be some variation in how they would overpower the other factions and take over. But no, it's very generically, the other two factions are gone now. Which, I know why they did it that way. I don't know that I would have a better idea from a gameplay design standpoint that wouldn't be a lot more work. But it is a little underwhelming. Apparently I'll have one of these, so let's not waste it. But whenever we clear this stuff in Altena, and we have the ability to land wherever we want, we can then make a direct speed line to the dungeon, which is the earliest place in the game to grind for the class change seeds. And it's a low chance of dropping. There's much easier places to get them if you're willing to wait. But, yeah, I think I'm going to do a little, listen to some LPs. I mean, I know I've been meaning to get caught up on Zerfall and Alt's co-op LP. I don't know why I'd be going into the details of this specifically. Okay, so there's only a handful of places you can land, but they're marking where they are. Maybe I can go there now. Knight Cavern. Jad's Stronghold. Well, hold on. So if I remember my geography right, the forests were kind of up here. Woods of Wandara. I think this is the place. Maybe I can actually put off facing our mother. Our collective mother. The mother of all people everywhere. No, but maybe we can put that... Maybe I can actually grind for the stuff here. Or we might have... The story won't let us advance here. Because there would be no point to clearing this dungeon. Because we haven't been given the quest to fight the Benevodons. Which is what this is all about. And indeed, we're not... Yeah. Okay. Thought it was worth a try, but we are going to at least need to deal with whatever the plot battles and stuff at Altena are. It's like, why are you guys wasting my time? I mean, why are you guys wasting my time? JG can only do so many falsettos. This is the problem with having, like, two different playable characters who are female plus Flammy and Fairy. I mean, at least... I don't know if anyone's ever said this before in the history of talking about Trials of Mana, but at least Charlotte has a speech impediment. So this would be Snow Hamlet. I Alright, will let us jump straight to the Frostbite Fields, which is nice. Because this is near the entrance to the Ice Cavern, which we'll need to go to. Not that it's a big deal, because in this game, you don't get lost, as you did in the SNES version quite frequently. What is this? Flower bucket. It's Elf City, USA. I'm thinking this, like, scary thing here, and this is the geographic locations associated with Paloport, Laurent, Kingdom of Wind. Oh, so I'm way off. This is the Knight Cavern. Oh, this place we might actually deal with if they gave it a different name. And this was... Okay, but... Alright, hold on. Let's go back to the Knight Cavern and then try to go hard east. Crystal Desert. I think this is actually our endgame dungeon. That Knight Cavern stuff over there is somebody else's endgame dungeon. And I don't really know. Can we can't get back here, can we? So this island, Tomato Town, is still apparently there. But you don't get to land here. This is gone. They didn't bother to get rid of it from the map, but apparently it really was destroyed. Jungle of Visions. Oh, yeah. So this doesn't look like a scary endgame place. This looks like some place you could just go to. But, if memory and logic serve, the Jungle of Visions is likely where the Mirage Palace that we've heard mentioned was located before it was destroyed. So that makes some sense that would be the endgame for the Kevin Charlotte path. Which means, and this sounds about right from playing the game so many years ago, as Hawk and Rize's path probably terminates. This is not it. This is the Wind Kingdom. Why am I playing for time? I'm actually quite interested in the next bit of plot. Yeah, but anyway, just so the Knight Cavern. Yeah, I do remember this now. If you have Hawkeye as your main or Rize, you would fight through this, and you would get to, like, you know, the Castle Scary McEvil, which is where the Darkness dude was hanging out. The Grand Lord of being an evil douchebag, or whatever his name is. But we can now actually get into Altena because this gate is closed, but we can land right in the courtyard because, you know, it's like how did the oh damn, I'm blanking on the name. It's in the Game of Thrones, the dragon guys, the Targaryens. Like, how did they conquer all these other cities? Like, you know, big, strong castle with tall walls. Dragon just flies in and fucking melts everything. So, Altana, Kingdom of Magicians, you are not going to keep an angry daughter out when she has access to a dragon, and you have failed to build a roof. Roofing technology would have helped you here. Otherwise, you could go like the route of the evil aliens from Battlefield Earth, but you'd have to be worried that Charlotte and Duran, between them, would blow the dome to allow Angela to fly in on her dragon. It'll be interesting to be back here, though. I've been looking forward to this. I was kind of disappointed we couldn't interact with Altena Castle when we came back here previously. But whatever's going on here...
Hurry, could be in danger! Hurry!
Again, that Crimson Wizard is always getting in the way.
Well, now apparently we do get to leave. They might have hidden the fairy out here for some reason. Goropokers have nothing to do with the story anymore, and there's no reason for them to be coming up. Goropokers. Pookers. Burger. Okay, there's no reason to be here, but the outer portcullis is open. So everything I just said about having to fly in makes no sense. And considering the Crimson Wizard wants us to come bring the Sword of Mana to him as part of a trap, I don't see that he would logically be closing the outer portcullis anyway. Possibly after we come in as part of his evil diabolical trap, not before we get in. True Queen, this is a more reasonable thing for the game to be reminding us about at this point. Angela's mom's. Perhaps Duran will tell us once he meets her whether she's got it going on. Monsters! Monsters are inside the castle! They've taken over! But the real monsters are us. We allowed all this terrible stuff to happen. It's a town we couldn't interact with before. Mana is draining away. Oh man, I really hope we get to run into Jose. Victor, maybe. Jose, I have this like weird affinity towards Jose. Oh, put your question mark seeds in there. Watch them turn into candy, bitch. Sorry.
Welcome.
I've been compensated. You can stay here free of charge. That has nothing to do with the plot, by the way. That's because of the little cactus, I believe. It's Lumina time on Undying Day. We will save the game. I shouldn't have spent that time goofing around on the map, because now I'm thinking if I wrap up this stuff in one video, I can call it a session. If I don't, I'm really going to feel compelled to go just a little farther so that I can off screen before the next session. But I know I'm going to want to do a thorough explore. It's horrible. Is Her Majesty the true queen all right? Eek, I'm panicked by the thought. Monsters inside the castle. We do not in any way register that you are the princess, by the way. Oh, I gotta bear in mind, even though the plot is urgently telling us to go rescue Fairy, I don't remember that I could get to this part of the castle before. In her prequel chapter, you kind of skip past here a bit, don't you? I don't remember, but I feel like we never really came here. We were in the inner part with the door out to this part locked. And then when we got kicked out of the castle, we got warped all the way outside. So we never saw this in Angela's story.
Welcome. Lots of wares to browse.
That is better. That is even better.
Oh, good choice.
These are expensive, though.
This is good quality.
The Rebel Wand. It got that Rebel yell. There's a little bit of the Rebel in all of us. Please don't call me Reba.
Of this? Ooh, exciting!
Come again.
We'll tool up one more time before we go face Moms.
Welcome. Lots of wares to browse.
Pegasus Mail. That's the ticket.
What's good?
Strong Armlet would be the best stat boost thing we could do. Moon Ring, no one is using. Defense Ring, Charlotte could use. Strong Armlet would definitely give everyone better stats. We wouldn't have some of our current immunity is to poison and cold, I think. I don't even know what cold damage is. I don't know that we've really come across it.
Choice.
I love shopping!
Oh, good choice.
Good work.
Feels like strong armlets would probably pop up for themselves if
good
I just
choice.
kept looking, but
This is good quality.
we'll keep a few of them in case I just decide at some point I want better stats and I'm not seeing these status ailments often. We burned through a decent chunk of money there, though. So let's sell some stuff we don't need. The puppet flail has been replaced by a troll flail. Favorite flail of, was it Grimmeth's uncle? I'm trying to remember. I was really enamored by the story, and yet I can't remember the details when Grimmeth talking about riding in a truck with, some older male family members who, just from talking to him, had learned the word troll and actually have kind of adopted it and use it now. Which is kind of fun. Poison and Shrink. Well, I don't think I've ever seen the Shrink attack in this game, but it might be because I've spent a lot of the game equipped with something that makes us immune to it. But yeah, this is it. I mean, I now have the option to go full-on stats only with every character. I don't see what the Moon Ring would be for anymore, because the Strong Armlet, and actually, I don't see what the gauntlet would be for anymore either. They were early game stats only, no status ailment immunity items for all the characters, and now we switch back to, am I getting bummed out by freezing burning? Am I getting bummed out by poison shrink? Strong armlet is probably the smartest one to use. Because status ailments aren't that big a thing in this game, but a couple points here or there for each of those stats isn't really game changing either. It's one of those personal preference is probably going to be fine kind of decisions. Definitely not dealing with the... definitely going to have to do one more video, though, to get to all the plot stuff here. So it might be a video in which I finish the plot stuff, go to the place where I'm going to grind, and just kind of fight enemies for a few minutes so you can get a sense of what you will be missing hours of later. Other thing I could do to pan out another video would be to go buy a bunch of Poto oils, because that's something I should have done. You seem pensive. The monsters in the castle are magical creatures. Our magic is no match for their attacks. Well, we know Isabella was summoning demons and shit to kill anyone that was resistant to her mind whammy. But she's gone. Powerful and badass as she seemed. Not really going to do very well in the Bechdel test. I guess she had individual scenes. Like, did she have scenes? Like, if your party consists entirely of women, she might have had scenes talking to other women. But she did mention the Dark Majesty kind of a lot. And we won't be seeing him in this playthrough, but he's a dude. Oh no. Oh, this isn't the same. Ah, I'm scared. I was like, is that the little girl from the beginning of the game? No, she's in the Snow Hamlet. We're fine. Monsters appeared and swarmed the castle. Why did I skip past that so fast? But none have come to attack the town. What's going on, Holmes? Tiny chance if I went to Snow Hamlet, Alarant, they'd be reacting in some way. Monsters going to be appearing in the castle after the Cribs came back from the sanctuary. Yeah, so there's like a tiny chance that if I came back here, or came back to Snow Hamlet, Alarant, they would be talking about this situation, but it seems pretty unlikely. Not only is this a very recent development, and probably the news wouldn't have reached there yet, but the House of the Great Prophet, Poppy Bran. Poppy Bran? Oh, Popple Bran. She's a longtime girlfriend of Count Brinkley. A dark and powerful shadow will fall over the castle and spread throughout the world. The end draws closer. That doesn't seem useful. Hey, you can walk up behind me. I'll say the same thing. So I'm busy. Could you come back later? Okay. Just trying to save the kingdom here. No need to help me. Oh, you know what? There probably can't be a little cactus here because if you're playing as characters, yeah, unless Angela or Duran is your lead, you never get to this screen. So there wouldn't be little cactuses here. Monsters, monsters! Ah! What the fuck, man? Monsters, monsters! Alright. Okay, so let's call it a video, and when we come back next time, I don't know that there's enough plot stuff going on in the castle. Could be wrong. Could be absolutely wrong. But I feel like we'll probably spend a bit of time dealing with that. Then the world will open up to us to deal with several objectives that can be dealt with in any order. And, treasure boxes. Oh, I missed some treasure boxes. Well, we'll grab those treasure boxes, because I think they may be marked on the map, even if they're not open. Not 100% positive. But, yeah, we'll do some stuff next time, and we'll find out what that is when we get there. Bye-bye.